Hello, Cheers to Business listeners. This is producer Johnny Gwin, and Karen is taking a little time off, and I get to guest host the Cheers to Business show this week. So please bear with me. I love being behind the microphone, but I'm not near as polished as Karen. So she will be back soon, but you'll be hearing me on the Cheers to Business podcast for the next couple of weeks. And thank you so much for listening and putting up with me.
Hello, Cheers to Business listeners. I'm Ashley Smith, Vice President of Wholesale Pharmacy for DocRx. With over 10 years of experience helping doctors and their patients with diagnostic tests, patient monitoring, medical supplies, compliance, wholesale pharmacy, physician, dispensing, billing, and much more. DocRx is your patient and health compliance solution, both under one roof, and always with the mission of the patient's health first. To find out how DocRx can help you, your hospital, pharmacy, physician's offices, and any PPE you need for your businesses, please visit us at docrx.com.
50% of all the world's cargo is now moved using blockchain technology trade lanes. And I guess my point with that was if 50% of all the world's cargo is already being transported via blockchain technology through trade lanes, everybody's in crypto.
Yeah,
you're in crypto. You just don't realize you're in crypto.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
Blockchain is working whether you want it to or not. And people are getting paid via the payment layers on top of the blockchain operations. And that's what those coins look like.
That's really cool. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge Coin, and altcoins. What the heck is this mass hysteria? And are you missing out if you are not already in crypto? Today we have Mobile's true serial entrepreneur, Scott Tindle, and he gives us a few minutes away from his thousands of companies to tell us why he jumped in headfirst into crypto and blockchain technology, his quickest ways to get you started in crypto, his biggest tips on trading Bitcoin and crypto, and a rundown of all of the weird crypto words you are bound to hear over the next few weeks. So sit back, Scott and I have a pretty loose conversation on the crazy world of crypto.
Hey, I'm Karen. I'm a former CPA, entrepreneur, business consultant with big ideas.
Welcome to Cheers to Business.
Scott Tindle, welcome to Cheers to Business.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. I've done it with Karen before, but this is our first time doing this show together.
Very much so.
Can we start off by just saying I'm not a financial advisor?
We are not financial advisors.
This is not financial advice.
Actually, what have you been up to since the duck boats and all the things that you have done in Mobile?
Yeah, so what we spend a lot of time on is helping small businesses build and grow and thrive, and spend a lot of time working with restaurants and hospitality. And obviously with the pandemic, restaurants were
you were working
really
for a software company that was going to help restaurants and pandemic hits, and that's kind of a problem.
So we were implementing this tipping technology software all throughout the country. As the pandemic hit, started to really assess what we do, how we do, why we do, what were going to be the industries that were going to thrive coming out of the pandemic.
So during the pandemic, you were looking at what the heck is going to make it through this crazy time in life. So
regardless of the outcome.
So you had time on your hands, and you started looking what is going to make it.
And blockchain technology kept coming up over and over and over again. Every sector I would research, I'd see blockchain technology and the impact it was going to make.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was a pretty easy decision to start spending a lot of time, energy, and effort understanding blockchain technology, understanding the cryptocurrencies, which are basically the payment layer on top of these blockchains.
Okay, and that's what I want to get to now. So instead of asking this question, I'm going to give the definition, of cryptocurrency. A type of digital asset that is characterized by secure transactions via cryptography. Cryptocurrency is what you've heard is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was built on the blockchain technology. So roughly, cryptocurrency is built on top of blockchain, right?
Yeah, it's the payment layer.
Payment layer, okay. And its major draw is decentralization, meaning it takes out the world of finance and banks. So you deal directly with a company or directly with a peer without a middleman.
Correct.
That's DeFi is that word.
That's right. There's no financial institutions in between. There's no governments in between. And it is purely a peer-to-peer transaction process.
Very cool. So got that out of the way. I did read this that I thought was great. Cryptocurrencies let you buy goods and services or trade them for profit. So, you can exchange it, and there are people that take it. Overstock has taken it for a very long time. Tesla took it for a while, but this was the part that I read. I think it was Wall Street Journal. You'll need to exchange real currency for the cryptocurrency to access the goods and services, which is funny, that word, and I'm putting air quotes up, real, because there's a lot of I would say, establishment financial that says cryptocurrency is not real money.
Yeah, I mean, people refer to it as internet space money or all these other kind of things. But, the truth of the matter is the way you earn cryptocurrency is through providing work or providing services.
Yep.
Right, so we're
not going to get into the advanced stuff. We're still doing crypto 101. I wanted to get that out of the way. Okay, so we dealt with
internet space money.
And I read this interesting about what blockchain is, because it gave, and again, we are reducing it down to understand it. People are actually using something that is very much what the blockchain is, which is roughly blocks of information on a ledger. Think of a database. So the idea would be like Google Docs actually has a spreadsheet. So the idea is you can share that with other people who can edit that spreadsheet in real time, and it's all the changes, or you can see every bit of the changes in the ledger. So it's transparent while people are working on it. So roughly that is a very reductionary view of what a digital ledger is.
Yeah, the easiest way to think about it is everyone has access to the document, to the transactions, and they're all working together to validate what is correct and what is not correct.
Transparent and safe. Okay. I don't want to get into all that. That's very boring stuff. It really is.
It really is very boring.
But it's very important at some point to read about it, because we're going to talk about researching before you jump into crypto. Okay. How would someone get started purchasing their first Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, or Cardano?
So the easiest way to wade your feet into the water is to get a simple account.
Simple account where?
Probably Coinbase.
Yeah, right? Coinbase.com.
So,
and I'll put a link into the show notes, because if you click that Coinbase thing, it will give me $10 and will give you $10 after you spend $100. So please use that link.
That's a good program.
That's called a referral program.
So the reason I say Coinbase in the beginning, there's dozens of exchanges, but the reason I say Coinbase is because they are publicly traded.
Correct.
People feel better about it.
It's very respectable.
It's the warm and fuzzy version of crypto exchange.
Correct. And it's based in America, which is huge.
It is. It's based out of San Francisco,
I
believe.
It's just started to be listed on the NASDAQ. If I'm not, I've lost some money on it buying the stock. But that's okay. It's a long-term play for me with crypto. It's not going away. Okay, so you need a bank account, correct?
You do. There's a process called KYC, which means know your customer.
And that's an old thing in banking, by the way. A lot of stuff that people think about technology with crypto, by the way, is the exact same thing that banks have been doing for forever. Know your customer has been around for forever. That was the $10,000 rule. Like if somebody came in and wanted to put in $10,000 or take out $10,000, you had to fill out that form. It's know your customer.
Yeah, so there's a lot of regulation around it. So people think that cryptocurrencies are just totally deregulated.
Yeah.
And that's not the case at all. You're dealing with a publicly traded company. They're going to follow all the proper procedures for knowing their customers, for AML, which is anti-money laundering, the suspicious activity reports that normal banks do. They do all those things. So as far as the easiest entry is probably Coinbase, right? And then you're going to have to upload your ID. You should be happy about that.
So you have to verify yourself.
Verify who
By the way,
you are.
Even the other exchanges that we'll talk later about, you have to do that on all those. You have to verify who you are. They want to know who you are.
And they have to, right? The government requires that.
So you get your bank account, which I would say down the road, create a bank account only for crypto exchanging, in my opinion, because you just have a small amount of money in there. If it ever does, there's a problem. No one's getting into all your business. I would say that with online eBay accounts as well. I've got an account just for online transactions to keep it safe. I have a credit card that's just online transactions. Okay, so I do understand it takes a while for Coinbase, because of the popularity of it. It takes a while to get that money from U.S. currency into, like, say, Bitcoin. It takes a while to do that. It's usually 10 days, I hear now. Do you know that?
I don't know exactly the time period, but just be patient. Be prepared. It could take a couple days.
And I will say this, jumping ahead on tips of be patient in crypto. You can't be jumping around a lot, but I would say that with any investing, you have to be patient with the idea of what you're going to do. Okay, so bank account connected to Coinbase, and then you start looking at, and what I love about Coinbase, they have these wonderful things that they'll say, like rewards for you, and you can watch these awesome 2-minute videos, and you do those quizzes, and they'll give you crypto if you watch it, of each one of these tokens, what these cryptos do. And that means about $30, $35 of free crypto, and so that's a great way to learn. Have you ever done that before?
I have not, but I need to.
Forth does it. Cardano does it. Matic does it. It's pretty cool, man. So check that out on Coinbase.
Oh, that's great.
So Coinbase is the home base for me. I use other places, but Coinbase is my home base. Okay, all of these tokens out there. Bitcoin is what we know.
Yeah.
Ethereum, so it's like the big guy in the room is Bitcoin. Like the big brother is Ethereum, and then there's Doge, which you hear about. Then you also hear about tokens. Is Bitcoin a token?
Sounds like a technical definition. I don't know about the tokenization of that. But to your point, what you're seeing is Bitcoin is kind of what moves everything.
Correct. Everything seems to be correlated with the movement of Bitcoin.
Right. And so as we get more progressed, in this conversation, you'll hear how people talk about it. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin consumes much of the conversation and a great deal of the market cap for cryptocurrencies.
So you need, and I would say I hold Bitcoin because I do believe that's the gold, the digital gold is what they say. Everything else is kind of how you look at how you're using your investment. Okay, so Coinbase does not list a whole lot of tokens where other exchanges list thousands of them. Have you ever found out why they do that? I think they do it to keep it simple.
I think it's to keep it simple. They were one of the holdouts to add anything besides Bitcoin. For a long time, they held on to only being a Bitcoin exchange.
Wow.
And as Binance and some of their competitors started taking market share, they also had to start adding coins. So the more speculative coins you won't find.
Correct. Newer stuff. They like established stuff there. Right. That's why you won't see a lot of fractional, below 1 penny stuff. It usually has to be a kind of established thing. I saw a thing on Crypto Windio, by the way, fantastic crypto person to learn how to do everything from beginning to really very advanced trading tacticals. She's fantastic. She's on YouTube. She was talking about how complicated it is to exchange crypto from like Ethereum to Bitcoin or any of these tokens, where it gets very complicated for them to talk to each other. Kind of like PCs and Macs don't talk to each other very well. Imagine 1,000 different little softwares out there not talking to each other. I think that Coinbase makes it on their exchange where they all can be traded within each other. So they actually create this.
Yeah, they have their own liquidity pool.
And that's what it's really simple. Like, I got really confused on KuCoin.com with all these wow, what the hell are all these stops and puts and limits and markets, and why am I having to do pairings? And that's very different and advanced compared to Coinbase. So Coinbase is where you start. So let's go ahead and get past that, okay? Cool thing is, like an email, I can send Scott Bitcoin through our Coinbase account, Bitcoin wallet, right?
That's right.
So we can send and receive money between each other on. By the way, I can even do any exchange. But let's just say right now you have a Bitcoin wallet address, just like an email address. And then Bitcoin can go to Bitcoin, Ethereum can go to Ethereum, Telcoin can go to Telcoin, but you really can't go Bitcoin to Ethereum. It gets lost, right?
Yeah, so those are more technical details.
What
the listeners need to understand is on the exchange, there's liquidity pools that allow them to easily move from any listed coin to any other, including to USDT.
Right, which is a stable coin. And what is a stable coin?
A stable coin is a currency backed by typically fiat.
Right, so like
so
American dollar.
It's a digital version of an American dollar.
So what you do is I take profits off the very volatile stuff like Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever I'm using, Cardano. And if I take profits, I put it into USDT or USDC, US dollar coin, US dollar token, and it stays at the value of the dollar.
Correct.
So that way I'm not losing volatility. Like if you put it, say you got $1,000 profit and you stuck $1,000 in Bitcoin and Bitcoin crashes, it's no longer $1,000. That's where you have to kind of watch what you're doing there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of this is starting to think outside of thinking in US dollars.
Yes.
You've got to start to train your brain to think
globally.
In what's going to become the universal currency. And we don't know which one it is, right? I don't think anyone should be picking the winners or the losers.
No. It's the early days of a very big industry, and we both believe in. That's when someone says, "Oh, I'm not into crypto." I'll say, "Well, you better look at the industry and the technology, because that is the blockchain technology is unbelievable."
Look, 50% of all the world's cargo is now moved using blockchain technology trade lanes.
And there's a lot of tokens out there. I'm invested in one called VeChain, which is a token that works with RFID chips with inventory on warehouses. So you make an investment, you put money into VeChain, and it actually does a utility. Mm-hmm. There's one called Monero, and it is fascinating. It's in the pharmaceutical business. It's not the one you're thinking of that you hide money in. It's Monero, Monoro, and it is in the pharmaceutical business, and it creates validity and transparency with pharmaceuticals that have to be at a certain temperature. Like I think the Pfizer or one of the COVID,
both Pfizer and Moderna,
has to be like minus 32 Kelvin or some weird ass thing. But this token, the utility of it, makes sure when that pharmaceutical gets shipped that no one tampers with the temperature. So that you're putting money into that. Yeah, it's a validator. And again, that's complicated, but these things are not just Doge is a coin based on hype. Elon Musk says, buy Doge, and it goes up 10 cents. That's just the way it is. It's a hype coin. But there's a lot of things out there that are doing amazing things in life. I just wanted to say that. That's one of the things doing out there. Okay.
I guess my point with that was if 50% of all the world's cargo is already being transported via blockchain technology through trade lanes, everybody's in crypto.
Yes,
you're in crypto.
It's
you just don't
everybody.
realize you're in crypto.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
Blockchain is working whether you want it to or not. And people are getting paid via the payment layers on top of the blockchain operations. And that's what those coins look like.
That's cool. That's really cool. Doing your research. So how do you do your research before you put money into something?
So any project that I'm going to get behind, I want to go find a white paper, right?
Correct.
I want to go read the research behind how the coin was created.
Where do you find that?
I just start on Google, honestly.
But it's usually on their website, correct?
Yeah, it's on their website. But I just like to start with Google to get an overall feel of what the Google search history is going to, the Google search results are going to look like.
Is it popular? What's there? What can you see?
Just in general, I just get a vibe off that. Then I want to go read about it and start to understand the project.
Yeah.
If I believe that it has utility,
right.
That's the first thing. Fundamentally, yes, this is needed. It's a solution that's needed. That's phase one. Then I can move into, will this actually do what they say it will do?
Right.
So,
right. Are they shooting for the stars here? Or is it like, wow, they're really close. They're like, one protocol or one update away to making this thing real.
Right. Yeah. Or just understanding culture, understanding culture, like you talked about Doge being a meme coin.
Yeah. It's like pop music. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you need to understand as much as you can about the world because all these things are interacting with each other. And so there's no bit of information that's not helpful or useful. You're just trying to connect them in new and different ways.
But that's no different than the stock market has all of it. I mean, there's someone that I know at the Container Yard. His job is to look at these prospectus from all these tech companies, and he gives a tech analysis of what this thing actually is or if it's garbage or not.
Right.
So it's all out there. So it's nothing new. You just don't have a broker in front of it now. You're going straight to the exchange.
Yeah. The beauty of the blockchain and kind of it's all built on this open source technology.
Right.
And you can go out there and find so much information. But you can also get overwhelmed. There's thousands of cryptocurrencies.
That's very bad. That's why I like I like finding some analysts. I had to have somebody teach me on YouTube, and there's one called Crypto Wendy-O. Look up Crypto Wendy-O. She's great. She explains things at a very low level up to a very high level and does it in very small nuggets. And I trust her because she was just in Wall Street Journal, by the way, because the article was about all of these TikTok influencers on crypto and how like 7 out of 10 of them are complete shills, just shilling for a token and garbage. But there are people that have been doing this for a while that are very transparent that tell you, this is what I own, this is what I'm doing, this is not financial advice, I'm just telling you my plays.
Right.
And so I like Crypto Wendy-O. I like the Bad Crypto Podcast, very great.
Okay.
Virtual Bacon is on TikTok. And then the Winklevoss twins. Those guys are awesome on Twitter, by the way. And then BitBoy Crypto is really big on. But what I do, I like to see what they're saying.
Of course.
And then when I hear them repeat a couple of like tokens or other gems, they call them, I will look into them because why are 3 of the 5 that I listen to mentioning these coins? Mm-hmm. So then I'll look at them. That kind of puts me in a direction of where to look. Because like I said, it's an ocean of tokens out there.
Right. No, that's right.
So I look at the team of developers and who's behind the coin too.
I think that's important.
Yeah, I love video game people. Anybody in the video game industry that's behind something, I will definitely take a look at because they know this world.
Well, they understand gamification and they understand how to incentivize people to do the things they want them to do.
And they've always been in this world.
That's right.
They know stuff, and they're in that part of the world.
They're actually bringing their video game world to the rest of us, to real life.
Wax, Decentraland. There's so many tokens that are like will change the way gaming is done. And I've looked into it, and I own some Decentraland.
Star Atlas is one that's coming out that's going to have a lot of in-game tokens involved.
That's pretty cool. The guy who started Napster is involved in a lot of stuff, and that guy, people say, oh, but he lost Napster. It's like, no, he launched himself into a tech world.
So that's Helium is the project.
Helium,
that he's in.
And
that coin's H&T.
You know that one very well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Facebook has some private crypto groups, but I will tell you, Reddit is great information. Twitter, follow the coin on Twitter. And by the way, I love this. They don't use hashtags for crypto on Twitter. They use the $sign. So it'd be $sign like ADA for Cardano. $sign
BTC.
BAX for BABB. So that's really cool. I love how that's kind of changed the way you look at it that way. And those people using that, I would say, are more into that world of knowing how to talk about it. So social media, very important. I use a thing called Into the Block, by the way, which is cool. So if you're really into technicals and trying to learn technicals, intotheblock.com is really cool. And I will put that link up as well to get it, for you to use that if you need to. And then I use CoinStats app, which is fabulous because you can put all your wallets in one hub to look at.
You're getting too advanced, Johnny.
I'm just saying, and also, but it keeps me from not having to go back and forth. And I don't like do not have your apps open on your phone, your trading apps on your phone. Don't do that. Oh, look for Bitcoin meetups as well. There's one in Mobile, and there's people who've been in crypto for years, and they love to talk about new things. So it's kind of cool. Okay, terminology. Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, what's fiat?
Fiat is the currency that most people believe is
real money.
Real money.
Right.
So it's the paper and the coins issued by the government.
Mining.
Mining is extracting cryptocurrency from the blockchain.
Yep.
And so it is basically how you earn crypto.
By usually solving complex mathematical problems.
Typically.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. ATH.
That's an all-time high.
All-time high. Everyone loves the ATH
right.
when you see the name of your coin. Again, $, name of your coin, ATH, and just all these rockets everywhere. It's a good day.
It's a good day.
Okay, HODL, HODL.
This is an internet typo, right?
Yes.
It used to mean hold, right?
Hold on to holder, your coins. And I'm a holder of a lot of coins.
Yeah. I like to use it as hold on for dear life sometimes.
Yes, and there's a word that I didn't know that I will show you that I love about that. Noob.
No, you're a noob.
I'm a noob. We're trying to be cryptophytes.
Right.
We're trying to be a little further down, but we are definitely still noobs.
Yeah, I think so.
A shill.
And you talked about them. It's the Instagram folks that are out there pimping coins that have no value. There are a lot of pump and dumps out there.
Pump and dump, right.
These cryptocurrencies are not regulated by the SEC, right? That's important.
Right.
The SEC is starting to get involved, but there are a lot of scams. And that's why we go back to white papers and these things.
Yeah, you got to believe in it. Believe in that token.
Look, if somebody on Facebook says, hey, if we all hold this to $10, we'll all be gazillionaires.
Yeah.
You're the one that's going to hold the bag. Somebody's already got a bunch of these coins.
Because it's almost like a Ponzi scheme. You have to make money if people are willing to pay for it, and you bought in super early.
Yeah, they got to come in behind you.
And the thing I heard for the shill was these tokens will go to a big time TikTok person or Facebook person or YouTube person and say, hey, you pump this coin on your show of 100,000 people, we'll give you $3,000 of it, and it will pump so big that they'll take the profit immediately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's that thing. Whale. What's the term whale?
Whale they're the folks that move the market, they move the industry. They're holding giant bags, right?
Elon Musk would be a whale of Dogecoin. There's like 8 guys that own 75% of all that coin. A whale owns a lot of it. FOMO
is the fear of missing out, and it's the worst thing that can happen to someone in crypto is that you try and jump in a project.
Yes.
Because you
chasing candlesticks is what they call that.
Yeah. And to your point earlier, mentioning the day trading, I don't really day trade.
No.
Crypto. I don't scalp. I get the projects I believe in, try and find them. I never feel like I'm too late to a project. That's the other thing. There is no fear of missing out.
And there's also another one.
So early.
And there's also something else coming up because we are so new into this world.
Right.
Okay, this is the word that I liked. REKT.
Wrecked. Getting wrecked.
And the last couple of weeks, I will say, I have been wrecked on my wallets and my portfolio. It's been hard to watch all that red instead of green. Red is bad, green is good. That's part of it.
But if you're hodling,
you can't
get wrecked. You can't lose until you sell.
And
Johnny.
You saved my ass when I was having a very rough day, and you're like, did you sell it? And I was like, no. You're like, well, you ain't lost anything. It's not like a casino. Casinos take your tokens.
That's right.
You never get those back. But you are still sitting on 10,000 tokens. You're just not the price you want to be.
And I tell people,
patience.
Don't look at it every day. Zoom out. Like, don't chase the candles. Don't look at the day-to-day updates. Yeah. You zoom out, and understand, what are you trying to get involved with this for? Is it
right?
Everybody's got their own different, primary reason for wanting to get involved, and we can talk about that at another time. But there's no rush.
I love this one. FUD. FUD.
Man, see, FUD is what?
Fear. Uncertainty and doubts.
That's the headlines, right?
Yes.
So every headline that you see regarding cryptocurrency, it's all about driving FUD.
And that's
about trying to drive prices down and
or up.
But we don't always know that. I think a lot of these times, sometimes these headlines are planted to.
I think so too, because a lot of folks who've got a lot of money did not get in as early as they wanted to, so they're trying to figure out a way to get it lower to be able to get in to pump it up.
That's right.
Again, maybe that's conspiracy theory, but that's something that it makes sense to me. Hodlers have no problem with FUD because their idea is when the market panics and something drops and they believe in it long term, they go, that's a buying opportunity. I can buy this, buy the dip. So that's another thing, not on my terminology thing, buy the dip. Okay, I love this one. To the moon, mooning.
To the moon is when your coin is going parabolic.
That's right.
And it looks
that's the chart.
Just straight up like a rocket on the way to the moon.
So on Twitter, you'll always see the rockets up, and that's to the moon. And everyone will say that all the time. And every time I see it, I'm like, today is not the day if everyone's saying it. Do you ever notice that?
Oh, yeah.
The day it's supposed to, like, today it's going to take off.
Well, they say,
and
buy the rumor, sell the news.
Buy the rumor, sell. And that's old as old can be. I mean, Warren Buffett probably, in 1812 said that.
Yeah.
That's a joke about how old Warren Buffett is. Gas. What is gas?
So on the Ethereum blockchain, gas is the fee you pay
to
participate and move Ethereum around.
I thought it was to withdraw it.
Oh.
Or any transfers, gas fees. And as of right now, Ethereum's having a problem with how expensive it is.
Yes, it's very expensive.
Yeah, but there are things out there that are working to fix that. ADA Cardano is one. Polkadot is one. So there's things out there that
Polygon.
You buy. Mathematic is what that's called. And then market cap is a very old term. But that's really, is that how much coin is in circulation, correct?
Market cap would be the value of the size of all the value and size of all the coins in circulation
that are out there in the world,
in the wild.
And Bitcoin crossed $1 trillion in April, but since it's gone down since then. That was a big deal. Yeah. I think I've seen 3.2 trillion total in all coins.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
interesting.
moving every day.
Okay, Scott, if you had $100 and you were starting in crypto, what would you do with that $100?
That's not financial advice?
Not financial advice.
Okay.
It's probably the opposite.
Yeah, right. That's a good point. So if I was just getting started, it's my first $100, I want to get a little bit of diversification.
Nice.
But I want to play real safe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the coins of the major blockchains.
Right.
I'm going to go 25% in Bitcoin,
nice.
The payment layer for their blockchain.
Yep.
25% in Ether.
Yep.
I want to go 25% in Matic. I'm going to go 25% in ADA.
Yeah, nice. Right.
So now I've got all four of those chains
very cool.
covered. And a lot of the other coins use these chains.
Correct.
So if those coins do well, the home base, the blockchain does well.
Gotcha.
So it allows you to benefit from all the different projects that are being built on those chains without having to invest in all those different projects.
But I will say, though, if you're looking for that to the moon, it's tough on those. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, but if Bitcoin doubles in price, which has a real possibility to happen, you're only doubling your money to $50. There are things out there that can do crazy things, but we don't want to get into that. But you wanted to get started with $100 and put it into some safe things and also how to get used moving money around. You might want to try sending some money to a friend, even like $5, just getting used to the software and using the exchange.
Well, I think that if you're getting involved in crypto to go to the moon, it's going to be very expensive.
It's bad for you, correct. But just letting people know, no one's getting super rich off of buying those, but it's a very good foundation to build your house on.
Yeah, and ADA and Matic still have a lot of
You
room
are not
to go.
kidding. And yes, ADA and Matic is fantastic. I mean, I wish,
It's not...
wish I had more in it, but the beauty of it is
I
can still put money in it. Okay, what if you had $1,000, Scott, and you were so you've got your $100 now.
Right.
I really like this. I'm getting pretty good at it. What do you do with that $1,000 you want to play around with?
Well, the next 1,000, if I wasn't giving financial advice,
right,
is I'd probably take 800 of that 1,000 and go back to my first 4 projects.
Oh,
and split them up. I want to keep growing that.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
That bag.
I got you.
Right, and then I might.
You're looking at percentages here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to diversify my bag. Then I might take that $100.
Yeah.
And I might bust that up over 2 or 3 projects that I was feeling a little a little good about. Helium is one that I would play with today. It's HNT.
But you can't get that on Coinbase.
You cannot get on Coinbase. But
that's where it gets super weird, yeah.
All right, so you'd probably go in with anything in the top 20 on the Coinbase market cap.
Okay.
You're probably safe. Like I said, I don't want to get into different projects. I don't know what people are into, right? But beyond those 4, take $100, find some projects you like, and then that last $100 depends on how much risk you like. If you're starting to learn it and you want to get a little riskier, not on Coinbase, but on some of the other marketplaces, you can start getting into Tel and VeChain and some of the ones that.
So if we stay on Coinbase, keep it simple. What I like to do was there's high dollar ones, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, blah blah blah.
Sure.
When I had that extra disposable money, I was putting it in that the 2 cent thing, the 3 cent thing that I liked, because if it goes up to 21 cents, that is a major, which is. It happened. Mana, Decentraland I bought it at 23 cents. Next thing I know, it's $1.15. And I was not even looking. I was like, holy moly. But that gives you a lot more room. But don't buy things on price. That's a big thing too.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah. Don't think that you've got to look at the size of the market to know what that coin, how many coins there even are, right? And these coins can grow really fast. So
yeah,
that last 100 is
drop really fast.
And drop really fast. That last 100 is probably getting very speculative.
Yeah, and I was saying,
but I'm not scared of risk, so and I'll jump in some of those.
And crypto is, but I gotta be very careful because if you like the thrill of it, it feels like gambling a lot, and you got to be careful with that because there's a lot of money you can drop into it, and you need to be like, that's why I like CoinStat app.
Yeah,
it tells you how much money you're profiting and losing. Coinbase does not do that. You need to see that if you're just happen to figure out you're putting more money in all the time.
You're only losing when you sell.
But
you can't lose.
Helps. Like when I say I think I got 3,000 in, and you go look at your CoinStat, and he says no, I've put 7,100 in. It's like, whoa, you got to know.
Right.
And a paper ledger, by the way, is very important. Someone said just keep a notebook next to your computer, and it's ins and outs, and then you add it up at the end of the day. It's very smart, super low tech way to do that. Okay, the last thing is the big one. $10,000. You got $10,000. You're pretty good at it. You're about where we are now, even though I'm not trading $10,000 or anything. $10,000. How are you looking at what you're doing?
By $10,000, I'm getting invested in equipment, and I want to start earning the tokens.
You want to mine?
I want to start mining and start earning the tokens instead of buying them. But
Goodness.
that's where I'm going with 10,000. That's where I'm going at 10,000.
And you work for a company that helps you sell stuff like that, correct? I mean, help you buy stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Inside of the work at
That's
DLI
cool.
as well as what we do for other people.
That's not where I'm going but I find it fascinating. And you have to have the miners. If you don't have the miners, you can't have traders. It's a wonderful way how it all works together. Well, Scott, I know we probably talked way too long about crypto. We probably went a little far ahead that we should have. But thank you so much for coming in and talking about how to get started in crypto.
Hey, man, this was fun. I'd love to do it again.
So where are you now? And if anybody wants to know what you're up to, how can they see what Scott Tindle is up to?
Yeah, as always, you can find me on any of the social channels.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Yep.
Traveling the country. I'll be in Miami tomorrow for some meetings.
And Scott meets a lot of interesting people, and hopefully he puts up more information, because information is gold in the crypto world, because you can actually make some moves or not moves based on what someone's telling you about how to look at these coins. And I would say be very careful with the water cooler talk.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that's what everybody's hearing. When I have my mother who is talking to me in some of these jargon and terminology, I'm going, wow. What I would say is not super tech.
Yeah.
And she's stating out these words, and where she's hearing it from is other people talking about their kids or themselves already trading crypto. That's why I thought it was important for us to talk about this.
I think that's great. And if anybody has any questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm around.
And I'm going to put a lot of resources, Crypto Indio's YouTube page, the Bad Crypto podcast page. I will put that links in the show notes on the Cheers to Business show. This will be the name of this show will be Mooning with Crypto, or Crypto Mooning with Scott Tindle. But I thought Crypto 101 is boring.
It is boring,
I like
yeah.
the just say mooning on there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Scott Tindle Mooning Crypto. So I will also have those tools that I talked about, and Coinbase is where you start, and there's a lot of cool stuff out of there. And Scott, thanks for your time. And we didn't go through all the things. I will give a cheers first, and then you will give a cheers.
All right.
So cheers to new technology and people who have the cojones to put their butt and their money on the line in this crazy, crazy world of crypto. So cheers to them.
I say cheers to blockchain technology and the transparency it will bring to allow people all over the world to find their way out of poverty.
Yeah, I love that too. I think it definitely, when they say some of these things with the people's money, they are not kidding. There are a lot of millionaires these days who did not get help from anybody else but themselves, a computer, and a little bit of knowledge on how to trade some tokens and crypto.
The information economy now.
Unbelievable. Everybody, please do your research. This is not financial advice. This is just Scott and I, friends who do crypto, talking about how to get started in the crypto world. And thank you so much. This has been Cheers to Business, and we will see you next week.
Please be sure to subscribe to Cheers to Business podcast on iTunes or anywhere else that you get your podcast. Visit our Facebook and be sure to give us a like. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, shoot us an email from the website cheerstobusiness.com.